Hey Scorpio, what's up? We're here with the timeless reading. Welcome. The first card that we have is Six of Swords and Nine of Swords. Okay. Six of Swords is a card about moving forward, especially after times have been difficult or challenging. Six of Swords is like a promise that like it's gonna be easier from here on out, like that type of thing. Like you're going into a period that will be less stressful for you, where you can even feel like things get moving if they hadn't been moving, or just that they'll be like easier for you than they had been, like less of a struggle. It can also just speak about like moving forward if there had been something that you were stuck on or you couldn't move on from. Six of Swords is like that time where you do finally get to move forward. Now, what's interesting about this is that Nine of Swords is following this, which Six of Swords would indicate like things are going to be easier now, things are going to be better now, you know, it's not going to be so much of a struggle. But Nine of Swords is like, I'm worried about things, I'm concerned about things, like what's going to happen. And I feel like this is even I feel like this is sort of a mental game that's happening here, Scorpio, where what I'm seeing is that things will be getting better, but you being like, what if they don't though? What if things are gonna get worse? And this feels like it's associated with a type of change that you're going through right now. And rather than being like maybe feeling optimistic about it, you can be feeling pretty pessimistic, not on purpose, but more so from a place of anxiety of like, what's it gonna be next, what's gonna happen next. But I'm seeing your guides say things are gonna be getting like better from here. You don't really need to be worrying about things, but I see there being a sort of looking into the future and feeling like worried, concerned, like, but this feels more like I'm doing this as a coping skill to make sure that I'm not shook and surprised if stuff pops up that is like difficult and trying for me. So I'm seeing this more be like a bit of a defense mechanism. This feels though that your guides are saying you don't need to be worried, like things are going to get easier, it's going to be better from here on out. But I'm definitely there, I'm seeing there be a concern. I'm not seeing it be warranted, but that's not to say that like your feelings are valid, right? They're what you're feeling. But from what I'm seeing energetically, things will be calming down. It just feels like your mind hasn't totally like realized that yet, is what I'm seeing from this. Yeah, I'm seeing the Ace of Cups up ahead. This is something that will be like very happy. Ace of Cups, especially the Ace of Cups in this deck, it's like you get to step through a door that feels very joyful for you, and you feel connected, and it feels fun, and it just feels bright. But I'm getting this like vigilance on your end, looking at something and being like when is the other shoe gonna drop, that type of thing. Even though I'm looking at something and it's like, it's the real deal, like this is supposed to be something nice that you get to connect with. But there's definitely this feeling of like, is that actually what's happening here? But more, again, more so from a place of concern of like, what if I allow myself to connect with this? And what if I allow myself to be happy and then that's not what it is, you know? Like that type of thing. No, I'm seeing just everything be really good. I'm seeing everything be great except for like the concern that you're feeling here. I'm getting this feeling of there being like a calcified congestion, that it feels like this is something that needs to be, I don't know, how do you get rid of something like that? It needs to be like softened and purged. Seeing there be a very happy message that you're receiving. 10 of Cups, Knight of Cups, this would be something very, 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 very happy. This can be a message that you get that carries good news. These can be really good feelings that you're having. When I say good, I mean like preferred and enjoyable and safe and content and just like enjoying things in general. And being able to feel connected and being safe within that sense of connection. Okay, so you are entering into a bit of a new era, I'm seeing here with the Fool. The Fool is about adventure, exploration. That's where I'm seeing this concern be. It looks like you're stepping into something that may be like a different territory than you've been in before. Like I'm trying something new, or I'm going somewhere I've never been before, or like I've never been at this point in my career or in my education or within the relationship. Like whatever it is, you're sort of stepping into something where it's going to be a new place of exploration and discovery. And rather than going into this being like, oh, this is going to be a fun thing to do, I'm seeing there be this like anxiety about sort of things even changing in the first place. Is hearing an alarm go off? I feel like things can actually be really fun if you would let loose a little bit, but there can be a part of you that's feeling like really uptight and really rigid and just so in your head that it's hard to even see something and to sort of step out and to try it out and to explore and to have a good time. It's like a kid like looking at a pool and being like, I'm so scared about all the water in there, like what could happen? And then it's like there's another version of that kid that actually goes into the pool and then has the time of their life in there. It feels like that type of thing where there can be like a lot of concern looking at something and being like, I don't know what I'm doing, and that can be like a negative thing or a thing that worries you, or you can be like, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm gonna figure it out. It feels like it's all about the context and like the framing that you're attributing to this, because I'm seeing something that has the potential to feel fun. Like you get to make your own rules and create your own roads here, and this can be something that you really allow yourself to connect with. But if you don't allow yourself to connect with it, it can be something that just builds further concern and anxiety, and it feels like it's about balancing, I think, more your mental health than anything as you move through this. Your emotional and mental health. Your emotional and mental health. Yes. Yeah, I'm just seeing a cycle that if I didn't see the Nine of Swords here, I think you were super excited about this. There's going to be a lot of connection. You're going to feel really empowered as well. And like a love for exploration and adventure. But you can feel like your nervous system is having a really hard time with this, struggling with this. So regulating is something that can have a very powerful effect on you, because I'm seeing there be, this Nine of Swords is feeling more dysregulated than anything. You need to do things to ground your energy and things that can establish this feeling of like, I'm safe, things are okay, I'm being supported, you know, that type of stuff, rather than I'm being thrown into something and it's like I have no idea what I'm doing, and then like all of this concern coming over there, like it's the end of the world, and this not feeling good at all and not feeling fun. When I'm seeing this is something that if you weren't so like vigilant about this, like hyper vigilant about this and concerned about this being something that makes it into something that ends up being exhausting because you can't get out of your head, it like sucks all of the color and the fun and the energy out of this, and it becomes something just, yeah, tiring and exhausting. I'm seeing your guides also too trying to like push you forward so you can get out of this frame of mind as well, of like things can be easier, things can get better, things can be fun, you can connect with it, it's not always going to be the other shoe dropping, you know, like that type of stuff. But you can feel like, just based off of what you've been through, like Nine of Swords isn't you being like, I'm like this because I want to be. It's like, I'm maybe traumatized from some things, or I may be really dysregulated, and it's about working to regulate yourself so you can connect with what's in front of you rather than being so shut down and closed off. that you have things that you would love and you're like, I need to protect myself from that, when you'd actually be having a great time and feel really connected and feel like joy and just stuff that you would want to be feeling. Like a sense of passion and adventure and purpose. I do feel like there's potential for you to like ruin a good thing here. I'm using that phrase lightly. It's like 10 of Cups is, I'm really, like, things are so good and I'm happy with this, and then the Tower comes through and it's that part of you that's like, let me ruin this before somebody else does, you know, like that type of thing. Like, let me send a message here that's going to sort of take away this whole opportunity from me. It can be that sort of thing that ends up happening. I do get the feeling of things coming up that can't really be ignored, and it feels like they're not coming out of nowhere. It's stuff that's coming up to be reflected upon, like, where is this coming from? Why am I feeling this way? What's the intention of this? Getting sort of to the root of it. You will be able to move forward and things will definitely settle down, for sure. But only if you're managing your mental health. Things are gonna, like, your mental health will wreak havoc if you do not get grounded. For sure. It's strange too, because I'm seeing like almost like an opposite type of response than you would expect. If you see something that somebody would like and would be fun, you'd think that they'd move towards it. But for your energy, I'm seeing it be like, you know, like a step back from something where, like, this would be something good for you. It would be something nice for you. It would be something that felt genuine, that you'd feel is in resonance with you. But instead being like, I'm so in my head and so concerned and so worried that I'm not allowing myself to be present to that, to actually like be there and to connect and feel connected. And then I'm feeling disconnected from this thing that's actually a really good thing that I have or that I'm moving towards, you know, like that type of situation. I do see you being in like, honestly, I get this feeling of like some type of motherhood, but more definitely from an archetypal standpoint, not a gendered standpoint. This is more so like you can be stepping into, to have Uranus and to have Venus connected with one another, it can be things that are aligned with you and that you'll actually like, that just show up and you have a chance to explore it. It's like trying a new food or something, but it's like a new cycle that's coming through, where this would actually be something that would be a great fit for you, but it can just be a different type of thing. And because of that, there can be this feeling of like, what if it's the worst? But I'm actually seeing something that aligns, and you can be in a space of exploration rather than implosion. Because I'm seeing like the Mars energy within you sort of brimming, coming up to the surface here. And if you're able to work with this energy within you, it allows you to be like that much more in control of your own energy, rather than being like, oh, the Tower is here and I have no control over this at all, and it's just gonna wreck this opportunity and is gonna ruin my life in this instance. You know, this is something that I see the Tower in this deck as being something that comes from within rather than like an outward situation. And it's time that this can be an opportunity where you can change the way that you handle your mental health. You can get regulated rather than just staying dysregulated and shying away from things that you would actually have fun with or connect with, or like new experiences that would actually be in high resonance with you. And coming to a place to allow. I think too that the Nine of Swords, is like a defense mechanism that comes from a place of wanting to be in control because of not feeling safe. And this is something that can allow you actually to venture into a new and maybe a bit uncomfortable with the Fool. Yeah, it could kind of be like I'm figuring things out and this may be a little bit outside of my comfort zone, but I'm seeing a place that you would really thrive within this, to have the Empress there too. It's something where you can feel like I'm discovering this new skill set that I have, or just this untapped skill set that I have, and I really love it here. And it can be something that almost feels like it sort of comes out of left field, it presents itself to you, and if you grab hold of it, it can be something that really changes your life for the better. So it can be a great type of change. It can be a destined type of change with the Fool and with the Empress here. And the Tower feels like, how am I going to handle things when I'm feeling triggered? The thing is that this is an internal trigger. I'm not seeing this be an external trigger. I'm seeing this be more so like you're in a neutral, good environment, but there's something going on within the inside that can really color this a different way. And that can have a huge impact on things. Having 10 of Cups and having the Tower can be like, wow, things are so great. And then the Tower can be like, let me knock it all down. You know, like that feeling from within you. Knight of Cups and King of Cups is feeling like I could act on that and say something, or I could choose to ground my energy. Or I could choose to manage things emotionally, or I could choose to regulate, like that type of thing. And you will be able to move forward, and things will definitely get better if you do that. But you need to be mindful of what you're communicating, because some of you, there can be like still a lack of discernment sometimes, where you may just be saying things and then it causing unnecessary disruptions within your life. Two of Pentacles and Knight of Cups is like, should I be saying this right now? Should I be sitting with this instead and not communicating that? Or like the opposite, am I just sitting with this and I should say something about it? You know, and figuring that out, like that's also part of this too. Like your feelings and working with your feelings, and also figuring out what to express and what to be, what's the word? What to be prudent about. And that all sort of coming to light here with this. You really do have the power to shape this, but it can be something that if you're not stepping into that part of yourself, you can feel like you're just at the mercy and whim of your environment, and just throwing like a really negative light on things when it's actually meant for you to like have fun and to enjoy and to really cultivate parts of yourself that feel super empowering, that can show up in this exact type of situation. And then instead of you being like, I'm completely just submissive to what the universe is doing to me, it will feel more like a co-creation that you have. And I'm seeing something that would feel really, I get this like self-development that can happen through this. Grounding and regulating being very important, and also self-care, especially on the mental end of things, like your mental and emotional health and wellness, and that needing to be cared for. This feels like a stern talking to that's happening here. I don't know like what exactly is going on for each of you, but I do get the sense that this is your guides being like, things can be really great and fantastic, and you do have this opportunity in front of you that you can really connect with and make something of it. And it will be something that you're like, this is so empowering and this is so highly in resonance for me. Or you have the option to really not use your discernment and to pop off in some way, or not. It's either like saying things that if you reflect on it, you're like, that's something I should keep to myself, that I don't need to be expressing because I still need time to process that, or not saying things that need to be said. And if you're not sort of like transmuting the energy properly, it can be something that sort of destabilizes this whole situation for you, when it's something that in retrospect you'll look back and be like, why did I do that? You know, that type of thing. So it's like before any of that stuff happens, you really have the power now. But I'm getting a really strong Mars energy within you that can be very difficult to temper at times. Having the Tower and having King of Cups, the Tower is like the most powerful eruptive force coming out from within you, and the King of Cups is your ability to temper that, to not have to like be reactive to that, and to be able to channel this energy in a way that can be productive for you and create the type of change that you want within your life, rather than ruining situations. Again, like I'm using the term ruined loosely, but it can be something that if you look at things in that finite type of way, you can look at something and be like, wow, this was a call for me to change something within my life, or to change my behavior, or to learn how to do this, when actually instead of that, I just ruined this situation for me. Because your Mars energy is coming up and saying something to you like, hey, this thing needs to be done, and you can misinterpret where to channel this if you're not in the right state of mind. And that's why this is so important. Like, you have the power to experience the most powerful energy within you that can be super destructive but also restorative, and you get to choose how you channel that, how you use that. And it can be something that pushes you forward, and that it can make your life better, or it can do things that are very destructive to what you have going on and get in the way of things, like block you from things that you actually really enjoy and care about, that do feel fulfilling for you. And that really being what this is about at the end of the day. The balance and discernment and flexibility too, it seems. I think too that there can be a focus on like, let me move forward with things and let me make changes that allow me to move forward, rather than staying within this and feeling like stuck and stagnant, and then not being able to express this energy properly, and then just making a mess of where I am, when I was supposed to use that fuel, instead of destroying this, I was supposed to use it to move forward or to implement changes that needed to be made, you know? Because the energy is there. It's just all about what you're going to be doing with it. And you can do it where you can really like make something, destroy a cycle that you're within, and then you don't have the fuel to like make the change and move forward. Or you can use this to really propel you forward, and then things just get better and better for you. And you can move on, you can move forward. I'm seeing Uranus, I'm seeing Venus, and I'm seeing Mars here together. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.